Hello everybody and welcome back to our course of the book Kundalini Yoga, The Power is in You by Prabhuji. This is the book and it's the material that we're using for this class and all the class that we're having in this course. Today we're going to have the opportunity to speak about the difference between Prana Shakti and Kundalini Shakti. With this topic, with this subject, we are going to finalize the first chapter of the book where we're speaking about the astral body and prana. We had our introductory class where we spoke about all the topics that we're going to see during this course, and then in the official first class we spoke about the 5 koshas, the 5 sheets. Then we spoke about prana. We deepened into what is this power that is moving all the universe. And in our previous class, we spoke about these conductors, these channels where prana travels around our body. So today I wanted to conclude and close this chapter of this first chapter of the book, and we are going to dedicate some time to try to understand more about this concept of prana, kundalini, shakti. So as the title says, the difference between prana shakti and kundalini shakti. I would like to begin by reading the first paragraph that we have about this topic. And from there, we're going to continue developing what are these differences. We're going to be comparing these two forces, these two energies, to try to understand more what are they about. So let's begin by reading this first paragraph. Just as water is the common essence of both steam and ice, Brahman is the common essence of Kundalini and Prana. Both are expressions of the same creative female energy that originates from Brahman. Shakti is called Kundalini when it descends and crosses the abstract boundaries of the causal plane, Karana Loka. It is called Prana when it arrives to the astral plane, Bhuvar Loka. Okay, so I would like to go back and refer first to the first sentence that says, Brahman is the common essence of Kundalini and Prana. So we're starting from the fact that they have the same essence. It's Brahman. This is the essence of both the Kundalini and the Prana. And then it says, both are expressions of the same creative female energy that originates from Brahman. Shakti is called Kundalini when it descends and crosses the abstract boundaries of the causal plane, and it is called Prana when it arrives to the astral plane. So we're speaking here about Shakti. Shakti is this female energy that originates in Brahman. This is the Shakti. So we have a better understanding of what are we speaking about, because we say Prana Shakti, Kundalini Shakti. So what is this Shakti? This Shakti is this female energy that is originating from Brahman. And this female energy also has different aspects depending on where it's located. When it crosses the boundaries of the causal plane, it's going to be called Kundalini Shakti. And then when it keeps descending and crosses the astral plane, it's going to be called Prana Shakti. So you see here that our previous classes where we explain about the different bodies, the different the different sheets, the koshas, then here we see how when it's in the Karana Sharira, in the causal body, we see that it's going to be called Kundalini Shakti. And then when it continues to descend, It's going to be called Prana Shakti when it goes to the astral body, to the Vijnana Maya Kosha, the intellectual sheet. So we have a better understanding. What I would like to do is to bring two more definitions and verses of different scriptures that we have here in the book. What happened is that we have in the 4th chapter of the book, we have the Devi, or the mother of the universe, the goddess. And this is where, when we're going to deepen even more in this term of Shakti, trying to understand it, and we're going to bring many verses. But today, to support this class and for us to have even a better understanding of what is this term about, what are we speaking about, this energy, this Shakti, then I would like to read also these two verses. Let's see what they say about the Shakti. Shakti is the divine creative power, and the entire universe resides in her manifestation, in her lila, or divine play. This is confirmed by Lord Brahma, who says, "This whole universe is supported by you. This whole universe is projected by you. This whole universe is projected by you, O Devi. And finally, you reabsorb all this into yourself." This we find that in the Devi Mahatmya 175. And then we continue with another verse that says, "If Shiva is united with Shakti, he becomes capable of projecting this universe. If not, he's not even capable of moving his limbs." This is found in the Saundarya Lahari 1. So I just wanted to bring these two more verses in order for us to have a better understanding of the term Shakti and how it's used, and how Prabhuji is using it in the book as this creative energy, this divine potential that we all have, and how in this verse, how they say, if Shiva has his Shaktis, he can do everything, but without it, he cannot even move his limbs. So it's explaining the importance and how significant is this Shakti for Shiva, this aspect of Brahman, this dynamic aspect, because remember that we're always speaking that this creative energy, this female creative energy, is an aspect of Brahman. It's not something separate from it, but it's the dynamic aspect. It's the one that is manifested, it's the one that is revealed, and we have Brahman that is static, is hidden, is not revealed. So always having this concept, this idea that Shakti is this manifestation, and then it's going to receive different names depending on where it's located. And this is what we're going to be speaking today. We see that the Kundalini Shakti is going to be more elevated than the Prana Shakti, because the Kundalini Shakti is associated more with the Karana Sharira, with the causal body, and the Anandamaya Kosha, the bliss sheath. But we see that the Prana Shakti, as I said, will be then lower than the Kundalini Shakti, because it's more connected to the astral body, and the expression of it, it's going to be even less subtle. It's going to be in our physical body, in the Annamaya Kosha. So the Kundalini Shakti will be more related to the involution aspect of the Shakti. Is going to be going from a multiplicity to unity, and the Prana Shakti will be the opposite, will be more referring to the aspect of the evolution. So it's going to be going from unity to multiplicity. One is descending, Remember that we spoke about these terms in our introductory class. One will be descending from the subtle to the gross. This will be Prana Shakti. And one will be ascending, will be involution, inward. So it will be the Kundalini Shakti from the from the multiplicity, from the plurality to the unity. So what we will see is that the Kundalini is like a needle attracted by a magnet. When it awakens, it wants to reunite with its source. So it's awakening in the Muladhara chakra and wants to reunite with its source in the Sahasrara chakra with Brahman. It wants to reunite here. So it's an ascension, it's this awakening. And when we're speaking about Prana Shakti, we will see that the Prana, remember that we spoke in the evolution of Prana, how Prana is descending from the Sahasrara chakra, is descending onto the Muladhara chakra in our development as human beings. When we forget our essence, Prana keeps descending until reaching the Muladhara chakra and staying there in this dynamic aspect. So the other thing that we will see is that in any awakening of the Prana Shakti, the center that is going to be related to it will be the Muladhara chakra, the Prithvi, the element of the earth. But in any awakening that is related to the Kundalini, the center that is going to be associated with it will be the Sahasrara chakra, because remember, we're speaking about the Anandamaya Kosha, the sheath of the bliss, the causal body, the more subtle one. The other thing that we will see is that when there is an awakening of the Kundalini, we will have previously a pranic awakening. So Prabhuji is sharing in the book by his own experience how there is an awakening first in the pranic level, and then we can have an awakening in the Kundalini level. So this is why in the path of the Kundalini Yoga, we are starting with pranayama, with breathing exercises, because we want to we want to develop this pranic awakening in order to then awaken the Kundalini. The other thing and other difference that we're going to note is that when we see this awakening in the level of the Kundalini, as I said, it's going to be in a more intense way. It's going to be related to the Anandamaya Kosha, to the causal body. And when it's pranic level, it's going to be more related and expressed in our physical level. When it's the Prana Shakti is awakened, it's going to ascend through the Pingala Nadi, and this energy is going to ascend onto our brain, and it's going to be dispersed, and there's going to be a pleasurable sensation. But when it's the Kundalini, because it's more subtle, it's coming from the Karana Sharira, from the causal plane, then it's going to come up, the Kundalini is going to ascend, it's going to rise through the Sushumna Nadi, and it's going to pervade our whole body. The energy will be more intense, and the sensation also will be more intense than when it's in the pranic level. So these are the two differences. I want to show a table where we can see more this difference, but we see that at the level of the pranic level, it's in the astral body, and we see the expression, the manifestation of it is in our physical body, in the Anaya Maya Kosha. in the physical body, in the gross body. Then we also see that it's going to rise through the Pingala until our brain. The center that is going to be connected with it will be the Muladhara chakra. And then when we also see when it's the Kundalini, the center will be the Sahasrara chakra. It's going to ascend through the Sushumna Nadi until the Sahasrara chakra. And the sensation will be much more intense because it's related to the Anandamaya Kosha and to the causal body. So here we're seeing these differences between what is Prana Shakti and the Kundalini Shakti. This is everything for today. This was a short class because we wanted to finalize, to give some closing to this first chapter. And in the next class, we're going to the second chapter where we're going to be speaking about the marmas and the grantis. This is another amazing topic where we are deepening even more in regards to the terms that we need to know if we want to keep deepening and exploring about this path of the Kundalini Yoga. Thank you so much for the time that you are investing in listening to these classes. Jai Prabhuji.